Hey guys, how are ya? It's Ernest again. Second video. A little bit excited. It's nice to have an opportunity to look at oneself um, following a conversation or a reaction to something. Um, I figure in this first, it's my second video. In the second video, I'm still working out the kinks, still working out the kinks and how to use the camera and when to do this and that and trying to learn how to relax in front of the camera. You know, practice makes perfect, of course. Uh, I'm happy about my purchase. I'm happy about this experience. I wish I had of experienced this like in college and graduate school. It would have been nice to have made it through every marketing and advertising course, every business and finance course, and every law course, and actually have had presentations and tapings, so that I can review my responses. I can review my mannerisms. I can check my articulation, my facial expressions, my body language. Um, I want to improve all that, because I believe that there are glitches in our communication um, means. Some good, some bad. Some can be improved on, some can be suppressed. Um, but overall, the best thing to do is to at least get a chance to see it. Because if you never get a chance to see it, how do you know? How many people have actually watched themselves on tape to see what they look like? My youngest son, he has taped himself and he posts them, and which of course means he's looked at it. He's only done one, and uh, I'm sure that the reason why he only did one was because he saw what he saw, and it wasn't that he didn't really look at it as an opportunity to improve his communication, to improve his articulation, his expressionism, his vocal linguistics, his visual linguistics. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know. Uh, Today's a work day for me, so I'm not gonna have a long time to do this, but it is the beginning of something good. It's the beginning, and a beginning is always a good thing. It's nice to have a beginning. Uh, this all got started because I was fumbling around on YouTube, and I thought, I'm looking at interesting material, and I came across these pranks where couples were pranking each other. Most of it was pretty harsh. Most of it was men and women doing really crazy things to each other, messing up their house, messing up their beds, messing up each other's lives. And then I came across this Wealth by Slyman, and it's where a guy, a couple, Slyman and Kate, they did outstanding video. It was the best that I have ever seen. Their creativity, their approach to it, their charisma and motivation was excellent. And it's been going on, as far as I can tell, for at least um 3 to 4 years now. And I've seen remarkable improvements in their abilities, in their communication style and presence together, and their overall interacting with each other. It was beautiful. I saw one of her earliest videos that she did prior to even doing things with him, and obviously she was 4 years younger. She's like 23, 24 now, but she was in her 20s. But oh, she looked like a baby. Oh my God, talking about Amber Alert. But um, over the years, she has matured. Her fashion has matured. His style has. It's a beautiful sight to see. So that is what inspired me to go out and buy this thing, and so I did, and I hooked it up and everything, and I'm very, very excited about it, and I love it. Um, the idea of developing something like that for myself is great. I probably won't do pranks, but I will probably have talk sessions like I'm having now. Um, and improve. From the very beginning. I probably won't keep a track of like number one, two, three, four, or something like that. But what I will do is um, another session, sort of thing. And then I'll watch them over time, maybe build a channel about it. I mean, I've already set up an account on YouTube. I'm calling it Proximal Consciousness. And you say, why Proximal Consciousness? I say because it's really all about consciousness. I mean, it's really about exploring issues, emotions, feelings, thoughts. I mean, some of the things that I see online are using pranks and drawing forth all kind of emotions and feelings out of each other, and they become very good at expressing their true selves and their true responses to things. And I love that, but I don't know if I want to have the burden of doing pranks. I just think I want to sit and talk like two couples, or like an individual would, or like a man would with his wife, his girlfriend, and just have a conversation about the day, the week, their life, their meeting, their existence, and hopefully being more conscious, becoming more conscious about oneself, about one's partner, one's mate, one's wife, about the world, their family, and the world that we live in. Proximal that's the consciousness part. But then you say, well, what about proximal? Proximal is like a location, an approximate location, a proximal consciousness. Somewhere around conscious. An approach to consciousness. Hopefully, an approach that starts maybe farther away and gets clearer and clearer as one gets more deeply into a subject matter, a conversation, or as one ages, for that matter, or spends more time together. I'm going to be looking at our comfort, the comfort level of communication, the ease with which communication can take place. I mean, I want to cover it all. And that's why I came up with proximal consciousness. I mean, I want it to be beautiful. I want it to be enlightening, inspiring, jaw-droppingly clear. Not just the final product, but the whole journey of it. I mean, because that's what it's about, right? And it's kind of like a developing child, a developing country, a developing community, a developing business. You have this beginning stages, and then you have this progression to some final stage. Well, you never really reach a final stage, but to a point to where a point of comfort, a point of reflection and comfort. I mean, I'm sure that that'll take place a number of times along the way, but to get to a point to where you can really sit back, and when that camera comes on, it is like magic. It's like heavenliness, So that's my goal, and that'll be my goal from this point forward. I'm gonna keep working at it until I get comfortable, until I get the setup right in the room, where in the house, other places. Maybe I'll go out and do it in some places. I really want to be comfortable with it. I really want to explore, well, mostly self and relationship, but also subject matter and context, because that helps. That gives you something to draw forward from self. I believe that there's a lot of things that impact us as human beings. A lot of things seen and heard through the senses, of course, but a lot of things that are not necessarily visible to the human existence. Things within our hearts, within our self, our who we are, that makes up who we are, that's there, and that comes out sometimes, but rarely. I mean, it doesn't consume us. It's just an aspect of us that influences our communication, our interaction, our disposition. Uh, it's like a that side and a this side, and that side can have an impact on this side in a good way, and sometimes in a negative way, depending on how much you understand about it, what your approach to it all is. I mean, there are many approaches to it. Some people use religion, some people just free flow and do it randomly. It all depends on the person. It all depends on how that person is raised. I mean, it's like looking at a high school or a non-college, a non-educated person versus looking at a person who's been subjected to education. I mean, that person that's been subjected to education, whether it's high school or grade school, middle school, whatever, and all the way up through college and graduate school, And when you get to the graduate school level, you're much more objective. You should be anyway. And I know that you're much more comfortable dealing with situations and circumstances and settings. Um, and that may be partly because of the type of people that endeavor to do those sorts of things, and it may just be the things that you're put through, and a lot of the reading and the studying and the exams and the presentations and the interacting with your peers that may have, and the quiet time that's necessary to do all that may have some sort of impact upon a person that allows a person to see certain things, to control certain things about themselves that they need to in order to be successful at doing those things. I'm not quite sure, but I may be able to get to the bottom of it over time. I may, I probably will, knowing me, put more thought into it and to see what materializes. And this is about enough time doing this, so I'll continue onward.